Okay, this is an update. If you notice here, I started applying water into each of the puddles on the 7th, and basically they were um, consistently puddled, meaning that water was always present in these within these barriers since the 7th of January, the 8th, the 9th. Now, yesterday on the 10th, at night, I let it dry out because for one reason being that no water was ever seen present beyond the barriers in between the plies, except for the Polyglass Polystick TU Plus. But the water, as already mentioned, only saturated the very top uh, sliver of the thickness, which is like a kind of a cloth layer on the TU Plus. So it would basically go under the barrier and wet the outer surface, the outer areas, even the top layer of the bottom ply. Same thing with that. And the reason why I did stop applying water, there's no water in here since last night, is because I wanted to all dry out, since this here, this Polyflex self-adhered um, Polyflex product here, I tried to separate, forgetting that it was a, uh, a peel and stick, so it should really be stuck down to the wood and not really taken off, because it's a peel and stick. So by doing this and trying to look underneath to see if there's any water, what I did accidentally was I cracked, if you could see right here, I cracked the barrier while the water was in it, and also here I cracked the barrier. So water came out, and I thought maybe that the water was going through the surface. Actually, it wasn't. The water was going through the barrier. So I stopped all water because of this crack here, just to reset. And I'm at this point now, I'm going to, let me show you with the light. I'm going to apply some more epoxy. It's still hard to see. I'm going to press it down. Now you can see that crack right above my finger. And if I press it up, it'll kind of like go away. If I push the edge a little bit up, kind of like goes together again. And here is another spot. You see that crack right there. So I'm going to put some more epoxy on there to create that secure barrier so that water won't go past this barrier, as it had happened with this one here. This is just an extra one right here. Yeah, see, this was cracked too. Originally I had this as being one of these, and it cracked somehow because I pushed it too much on the edges. So I applied the epoxy, and it does hold the water perfectly, just like any other one. So I'm going to do the same for this one here, and then continue putting water in for a few more days and see if there's any water seepage, any more. I've also been checking the bottom of this wood deck, kind of. In a sense, it's a wood deck. And if you notice there, well, it wouldn't be fair to really say right now, but there hasn't been any, if you notice the nails, there's nails going through the wood. and none of those nails that were pounded in for each sample, none of them, let me do without the light so you could see it better, none of them had any hint of water going through. Anyway, you're going to have to believe me because the water hasn't been in these puddles since last night. But after I put um, I repair this barrier here, I'm going to apply the water when that's dry, probably tomorrow morning on January 12th. So today we're giving it a break after 1, 2, 3, 4 days of having water in each sample puddle. Right now they're all dry, and I'm going to continue with repairing that peel and stick, and then apply the water tomorrow. And for a few more days, if there's no water, what I'll do at the end of that period, while the water is inside each barrier, um, um, I will show you that I'll show you the effects. There will be no water, probably, just like this time. And then continue with another idea to show a worst case scenario, or more of a worst case scenario, where I'm going to pop up each nail from underneath, and so that the tip of the nail will not be touching the top surface, just to see, let's say maybe a roofer doesn't tap down the nail all the way, which wouldn't happen, but just to make it even worse, to see if water will go through even without the nail top touching the underlayment. But I'll demonstrate that when I get up to that point. Okay, over and out.